Welcome to RANA, Rising Above Narcissistic Abuse. This is a safe space for survivors of narcissistic abuse, where we share stories of strength, recovery, and transformation. Here, you'll find empowering videos, insightful advice, and a supportive community dedicated to helping you overcome the aftermath of narcissistic relationships. Welcome back to our channel, dedicated to helping survivors of narcissistic abuse find their path to healing and empowerment. Today, we're delving into a crucial aspect of recovery: healing from emotional trauma, a guide for survivors. Recovering from narcissistic abuse can leave deep emotional scars, and in this video, we're going to explore the impact of emotional trauma, the signs that may indicate its presence, and a comprehensive guide for healing and recovery. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're here to support you. Let's begin our journey towards healing from emotional trauma. Identifying trauma. Emotional trauma is a common consequence of narcissistic abuse, and it's essential to recognize its signs in order to address it effectively. Persistent flashbacks, repeated and intrusive memories of the abusive experiences can be an indicator of emotional trauma. These flashbacks can be distressing and disruptive. Emotional dysregulation, difficulty managing emotions, such as sudden and intense outbursts of anger, sadness, or fear, is a common manifestation of emotional trauma. Hypervigilance. Survivors of narcissistic abuse often become hypervigilant, constantly on edge, and scanning their environment for potential threats. Avoidance. Avoiding reminders of the abuse or places and situations associated with it is a sign of emotional trauma. It's a way of trying to protect oneself from further pain. Negative self-image. Emotional trauma can erode self-esteem and self-worth, leading to a negative self-perception. Identifying emotional trauma is the first step in the healing process, and once recognized, there are strategies and coping mechanisms to manage it. Coping mechanisms. Coping with emotional trauma can be challenging, but there are strategies that can help survivors regain control over their emotional well-being. Mindfulness. Practice mindfulness techniques to stay present, grounded, and reduce anxiety. Mindfulness can help you observe your emotions without judgment. Self-care. Prioritize self-care as a daily practice. This includes getting enough rest, eating well, and engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Support system. Build and maintain a support system of friends, family, or support groups. Surrounding yourself with a nurturing community can provide a safe space for healing. Setting boundaries. Establish and enforce healthy boundaries to protect yourself from further harm and to create a sense of safety. Seeking professional help. If the trauma is overwhelming, it's essential to consult with a therapist or a counselor. They can provide guidance, coping strategies, and therapeutic methods for healing. Coping mechanisms play a vital role in managing emotional trauma, but healing often requires therapeutic methods as well. Healing techniques. Healing from emotional trauma is a journey, and therapeutic techniques can be instrumental in this process. Cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) is a widely used therapeutic approach that helps individuals identify and change negative thought patterns and behaviors, promoting healthier coping mechanisms. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. EMDR is a therapy that helps individuals process traumatic memories by facilitating bilateral eye movement or other forms of bilateral stimulation. Dialectical behavioral therapy (DBT) is particularly useful for managing intense emotions and improving interpersonal relationships. It teaches skills for emotional regulation and distress tolerance. Art and expressive therapies. Creative therapies like art, music, or dance therapy can provide an outlet for expressing and processing emotions that may be difficult to articulate verbally. Narrative therapy. Narrative therapy helps individuals rewrite their stories and find new, empowering narratives that focus on resilience and growth. These therapeutic techniques can aid survivors in processing their emotional trauma and transforming their experiences into sources of strength and resilience. Conclusion. Thank you for joining us in this discussion on healing from emotional trauma, a guide for survivors. We've explored the emotional trauma caused by narcissistic abuse, the signs of emotional trauma, coping mechanisms, therapeutic healing techniques, and heard inspiring stories of survivors who have overcome emotional trauma. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay connected with our supportive community. Together, we can heal from emotional trauma, find empowerment, and create a brighter future. In the coming days, we'll dive into topics like embracing your new life after narcissistic abuse. Join the conversation by following us on social media and sharing your experiences. We're here to support you every step of the way. Remember, you are not alone. Together, we are rising above narcissistic abuse.